Hey guys, this is the story of Don Fury Studio. Hope you like it. 1994 was another amazing year for the studio, for the bands, and for me. We did a 12-inch EP for Orange 9mm and Revelation Records. That's Chaka Malik's band with Chris Traynor, Larry Gorman, and David Gentile. This record is blazing. It's got a really tough edge on it, and it's just like barreling along for the whole record. We also did a 12-inch EP for the post-hardcore band Shift for Equal Vision Records, pretty cool record. And we did the Security LP for the Long Island band Mind Over Matter for Rec H Records. The Security LP is still one of my favorites. It's really got a great production, and if you want to hear the essence of like Don Fury Studio in the early 90s, the sound of the studio, fire up the Security LP. You'll get a good dose. We did an LP for Downtown Rockers, The Goops on Blackout Records, and that was pretty cool because we got to mix it at Platinum Island on a Neve console. Sick of It All came in and recorded Borstal Breakout and Straight Ahead for the Step Down CD single release on East West America. We did a CD for Taste of Fear for Lost and Found, that's Daryl Kahan's band after Citizen's Arrest. We did an EP for Terminal Confusion for Mangler Records. We did an EP for Stand Clear for New Life Records. And we did 2 CDs, 1 EP, and a split for the always prolific Gender Punk's God Is My Co-Pilot. I got to work with some bands from around the world in 1994. Power of Idea flew over from Japan, and we did a CD for Tribal War Asia. Post-hardcore band Understand came over from the UK, and we did a record for East West. And German band Radical Development came over, and we did a record for Navigator. And I got to travel to the north of Italy to work with the Italian hardcore band Raw Power and do a record for the label Godhead. Raw Power was founded by the brothers Mauro and Giuseppe Cordelupe, and I had a great time working with those guys. By 1994, post-hardcore bands and some hardcore bands were getting signed to major labels. Quicksand had signed to Polygram and then later Island. Into Another was on Hollywood. Orange 9mm and Sick of It All were signed to East West America. Shift got signed to Columbia eventually. Helmet got signed to Interscope. And around that time, I got introduced to Sandy Robertson, the founding manager of World's End America. World's End America was the biggest producer management company on the planet at that time. They were handling producers that worked with the Rolling Stones and U2. At that time, I had only a few major label credits, working with Quicksand for Polydor, working with Warrior Soul for the David Geffen Company, and working with Sick of It All for East West America. But all the New York bands that were getting signed to the major labels were bands that had recorded their first records at Don Fury Studio. I think Sandy might have thought I was a diamond in the rough. What he didn't realize is he wasn't going to get the diamond. He was only going to get the rough. I was skeptical that Sandy was going to have any idea what to do with me, and that turned out to be true. But we did have a good rapport, and we did work together on a handful of projects over the next few years. And the very first one would be amazing. Quicksand had come in and done all the pre-production for Manic Compression at Don Fury Studio. So when the label set them up in a different studio to start the record, I was disappointed. A couple months later, I'm getting ready to fly over to Italy to record an independent record with Raw Power, and I'm pretty psyched about it. And then I get a phone call from Sandy Robertson. And he tells me, Quicksand's not happy, and they want to mix the record with you. I'm like, well, sure, that's a great idea, except I'm headed to Italy, and I can't stop it now. So they're going to have to wait until I get back. So Quicksand waited until I got back. And then we spent about a month in the studio working on mixing what they had already. So everybody gets happy with the mixes. And then, like so many times before, one afternoon I get a call from Walter. He's like, Fury, we want to come in and record 5 more songs for the record. And that's exactly what we did. You know, by that time, working with Walter was almost automatic. You know, when we were working on Delusional or Thorn in My Side, we hardly had to talk to each other anymore. And the stuff came out great. And then to top it all off, we used one of the pre-production tracks, Brown Gargantua, as well. So I felt pretty good about that. The following summer, I was driving my kids out to the beach in my mom's little car, and Thorn in My Side came on the radio. It had made it to heavy rotation on all the rock stations, including K-Rock. And so I was driving the car down the road like a go-kart. It was a lot of fun. At the end of 1994, I got another call from Sandy. Orange 9mm wanted me to do some remixing for them, and they were going to send me over to Electric Lady Studios to do that job. And so there I was in Studio C, back at Electric Lady, like it was another day at the job. Times had changed.